Reagan National Airport, getting ready for a quick jaunt down to Atlanta for the weekend, just to see what we can find when we explore the area. Been through the airport many times, as a lot of people have. Never bothered to step outside and see what Atlanta has to offer. So this weekend's going to be all about fixing that.
We've tried a few February getaways in recent years, only to run up against ferocious DC storms. But this time our luck changed, and we made our way out of a cold but clear DC area without a hitch. After a short flight south, we made a smooth touchdown in an equally clear but much warmer Atlanta. If the weather conditions were any indication, we were definitely in for a great President's Day getaway.
Well, we made it to Atlanta. We're at Hartsville-Jackson Airport, and of course, first order of business is we've got to get from here to downtown. So let's get to it.
Our first connection was a train to get us to another train. This is the airport shuttle, which picked us up and took us to ground transport. When we get to ground transport, we made an easy connection to the MARTA, Atlanta subway system. It was as simple as purchasing a Breeze card for $2 and putting $5 on each of those cards. This would give us what we needed for a round trip to and from any MARTA station in the city. After a 20-minute ride into the heart of Atlanta, we got off at the Peachtree Center stop just a few blocks from the Aloft Hotel. Recently refurbished, but built in the 1980s, the Aloft stays true to its roots with a clean, sleek look that was once modern, but younger guests might be tempted to call retro instead. A nicely appointed lounge and bar greeted us for our afternoon check-in. Now, I was lucky enough to get the Aloft on a hotwire booking, so for less than $100 a night, we managed to secure this centrally located hotel in downtown Atlanta. It offers a nice fitness center, including modern cardio equipment like ellipticals and treadmills. There's also some offerings for the more calisthenic-minded among us, and also some strength training equipment. The pool is small, so you won't be doing laps in this one, and there's no hot tub offering either. But if you like to relax outside, there is an area outside the bar that's peaceful after the traffic dies down, though it isn't very scenic since it's nestled among the garages and high-rises of downtown. Meanwhile, inside is an 8-foot pool table that's well maintained and level, and it includes a nice selection of straight pool cues in varying weights. There's no charge to use it. There's also a data center that essentially serves as a place to print your boarding passes. And possibly my favorite feature is the complimentary tea and coffee. Our guest room was clean and inviting, with a functioning coffee maker, TV, mini fridge, and plenty of outlets for charging all of our devices. The bathroom was clean with plenty of water pressure in the shower. Notice also that the complimentary body wash and shampoo are offered in dispensers, so there are no little bottles to swipe as souvenirs this time. That little guilty sin aside, we have no cause for complaints. The Aloft was a great value. But man shall not live by a comfy bed alone, so we set out to find something to eat. As we wandered over to Centennial Olympic Park, we found Twin Smokers BBQ. This place looked pretty busy and had lots of wood along the walls, so we decided those two signs alone made it worth giving it a shot. Apparently, Twin Smokers isn't just a name. They really do have two identical smokers churning out barbecue for visitors in the downtown area. The smokers' names, Elizabeth and Matthew, are still a mystery to me. But what's going on inside of them is no mystery. If you're lucky enough to wander by at just the right time, you can even get a look inside for yourself. So I decided to indulge on as many offerings as I could to see what Twin Smokers was all about. I started off with a cold beer that was brewed right down the block. Then moved on to wings, which are sweeter than they are smoky or hot, but have a nice crisp skin that you can only get with the right amount of heat and basting. Then I got into the brisket, which was delicious, but didn't smack my taste buds around with smoke flavor the way I hoped it would. But next was the pulled pork, which really stole the show. Nice and smoky, the pulled pork was a thing of beauty. Sauce is available, and I didn't even need to use it. The sides also deserve some love, including the mac and cheese and especially the collard greens. You can't get collard greens with that kind of texture and taste where I come from. I'm still struggling with why there's a piece of white sandwich bread on the bottom of every barbecue plate in Atlanta, but they do help to mop up every last bit of flavor at the end of the meal. Now, possibly the best part of our meal was a sweet potato casserole, served warm with pecans and a hint of cinnamon. That was a sweet goodbye. So I toasted the meal with one last glass and bid the twin smokers a fond farewell. But our day wasn't yet over. We had one last thing to do. A friend had recommended that we catch a show at Dad's Garage, an independent theater company holding performances just outside of the Sweet Auburn neighborhood downtown. They're close to the King Memorial Metro Transit Station, but we decided to grab an Uber instead to cut the travel time.
Hey everyone, we're here at Dad's Garage in Atlanta, Georgia, about to take in a show. This is an independent, not-for-profit theater organization, and we decided to come by and check it out. So I'm going to go inside now. I'm going to grab a drink, a little snack, and we're going to sit down and take in some comedy.
So we headed on into the will call counter to pick up our tickets and have a chat with a few of the volunteers. Next, we picked up a cold beer and some popcorn at the concession stand. And, with a little bit of help from the writing on the wall, we managed to find our way up to the theater. We sprung for the so-called first-class seats, which I highly recommend. Having our seats reserved allowed us to linger in the lobby and enjoy our concessions and conversation longer without having to hurry into the theater to grab a good seat. Although one might argue that in this cozy little theater, there really are no bad seats. We were at Dad's tonight to catch the Theater Sports Show, an improv act pitting two teams of actors against one another in scenes that the audience helps to create. Now, this show's not exactly family-friendly, so you're going to want to leave the kids behind. But it was phenomenally funny, and it's probably one of the best memories I took away from this entire trip. It also felt good to know that I was supporting a not-for-profit theater company that offers courses and workshops in acting. In short, it was a great way to cap off our first day in Atlanta. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, The Wandering Chemist, for more of my travel videos, and my blog at www.chemsurvival.com/thewanderingchemist for more detailed reviews of all the hotels, restaurants, and events that you saw here.